So in this one, we're going to be looking at tables, graphs, equations, and kind of working a bit between those. So Caroline is living in a studio apartment in Cedar Lake Apartments, and it's located at the Whittier neighborhood of Minneapolis. She has to pay $700 for security deposit and $800 per month for rent, $30 for utilities, and that's also per month. So we have our two variables. It's going to be our months and the money that she pays. And since the money depends on the months, then our y-axis would be our money. And I'm just going to put that on the table, and I'm going to put it on the graph. And then we have months, which we said is our x-axis. So at 0 months, you're paying $700 for the security deposit. At 1 month, I'm going to add an additional $830 because we have to pay rent and we have to pay utilities. So every month we're paying the $830 for a total of $1,530. At 2 months, we're still going to pay another $830. So I'm just going to add on another $830 for $2,360. And then I'm just going to keep going and filling up my table. Then if I graph this information in my table, that means on the money paid, I need to be able to go up to about 5,000. In months, I need to go up to 5. So I'm just going to go up by ones. We won't get all the way across on months. That's fine. To be able to go up to 5,000, I think if I go up by 500, that should work. Remember, I can't just go by the money in the table. I need to make sure that I'm going up by a set amount. That's our scales of the graph. And then I need a title for my graph. And let's see, Cedar Lake Apartments works. Then we're going to put in our information. So at 0, it's 700. So again, we're just kind of estimating that. At 1, it's 1,530. At 2, 2,360. So just kind of doing our best to estimate where those would be. And the last one, 4,850. We're not connecting those. Remember, we're just putting them as dots because that is where they exist in there. If we don't get a half month, you still have to pay for the full amount of everything. We don't get to just pay half a month's worth. Because we know we're going to be adding 830 each time, that's going to be my slope. So y equals 830x, and we started at 700, so that becomes my y-intercept. That's our starting point of our graph. On the next one, I'm just going to have you we're going to do a little bit on the scenario, then I'm going to have to see if you can figure out the rest of the pieces on its own, and then kind of the same with the last one. I'm just going to have you check it with the answer key to see how those are going when that one's just giving you different information to begin with. So if I'm looking at this for a scenario, I know I'm starting with $750. So all my other problems have had a security deposit. So I'm going to say security deposit is equal to $750. And then I'm going to look to see how much am I adding each time. And that's going to be our rent and utilities. We don't have to write it out as sentences. You can. We can also just kind of say, here's what we're looking at. So this looks like it's adding $1,000 here. And then again, I'm adding another 1,000. So that would be what this would equal. From that, I'm going to write an equation because that's giving me my y-intercept and my slope. And then this one here, I'm going to it's just a general question. What else should we be looking at? Price is part of it, but that can't be the whole thing. And then this time I'm giving you a graph, and then you're coming up again, give me a different scenario. It doesn't have to be super creative. It just has to be the basic information, and then write an equation, and then that last answer. So double check your answers when you're done.